Hey guys, welcome back to BlockHash Exploring the Blockchain. Another wonderful episode, 7 a.m. here in Medellin, Colombia. Today, for episode 269, we have Oleg Fomenko. He is the founder of Sweat Economy, one of the top apps downloaded right now in the world in health and fitness. They're kicking butt. It's super cool what they're doing. Oleg, welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
Good to be here, Brandon. Thank you very much for having me.
Pleasure to have you on. So much I want to talk about today about what you guys are doing. Before we do that, let's get a bit more familiar with you and yourself. I'm curious, what's your story? What's your background? How did you get into not only this space, but how did you come to being involved with founding Sweat Economy, and why the combination between fitness and crypto?
Oh, there are a lot of questions there. So history, crypto plus health and fitness. Let me try to sort of take it kind of
Yeah, to
one at a time.
distill it down just a little bit. Just tell me about yourself.
Yeah, married, two kids, just recently moved to Portugal, staged out on Brexit. Have been working in kind of Web2 and starting businesses for quite a long time already. Lived in four countries for quite considerable periods of time. Really sort of enjoying building new ventures, building great products, exciting propositions, and getting a lot of kind of people excited with things that we're inventing. Before Sweatcoin and Sweat Economy, had a business in music called Bloom FM, based in the UK. Got it to 1.2 million users. Was very, very exciting venture, difficult market. And when that sort of perished in very unfortunate circumstances, went for a run with my co-founder, and we started talking. How the hell do we find motivation to be physically active? And we very quickly realized that kind of everyone wants to be more physically active than they are, and they struggle. And we figured out why this happens, what drives it, and we figured out that we could create technology that would motivate people. And it was on confluence of behavioral science and psychology, and so technology and crypto. And we called it Sweat Coin because even back then in 2015, we wanted to be on blockchain. Uh, Thankfully, there was only one Bitcoin blockchain, and kind of we realized that it would take a lot longer and a lot more money to develop an MVP, and we decided to go centralized. And the rest is history. By early 2017, we were processing several hundred transactions per second at peak, had millions of users. We now scaled to close to 120 million users around the world, and rapidly migrating finally onto Web3, because kind of now there is technology fast enough, robust enough, and kind of cheap enough and ecologically friendly to basically allow us to make this transition.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So, in a nutshell, I guess, what is Sweat Economy and how does it kind of function? Just kind of the basics.
Sure. So Sweat Coin, which was our kind of original business that we started in 2015,
Mhm.
is sort of very simple, very linear. You walk 1,000 steps. We verify, confirm them through our own proprietary verification algo model. And if we confirm them as genuine, then we issue one Sweat Coin per 1,000 steps. As you can imagine, kind of, as I mentioned, it's already centralized. It is inflationary as number of users grows, the monetary masses are going up. And for all these years, we've been asked by our audience, when are you becoming crypto? When are you becoming crypto? And the answer was always, we just can't, because there is nothing that can support our scale and also give us hope of kind of growth that we're experiencing. Until last year, when we came across kind of multitude of new sort of generation layer ones, and we've chosen near, that allowed us to introduce Sweat in parallel to Sweatcoin. And Sweat is a decentralized, is deflationary, and is totally open token that can be, used anywhere where crypto is accepted. So the way it's going to work, on Tuesday next week, we're going to have a TGE where all the holders of Sweatcoin are going to receive a matching amount of Sweat onto their near wallets if you opted in, and if you live in a country where you can opt in. And after that, you will be required an ever-increasing amount of steps to mint the next Sweat and put it into your wallet. And we will also have a lot of very, very strong sources of demand that will generate revenue that will funnel back into buying token on the open market, and then either distributing it to token holders or potentially burning, depending on the kind of community votes.
Yeah, it's a very exciting and creative way to incentivize people to be more active. How do you guys track and monitor the activity that someone has, or the steps to determine how to reward them in Sweat?
Brilliant question. I mean, it took 7 years and 120 million users to perfect this. So basically, your phones and your wearables are pretty good at detecting your movement. The trouble is that they are fairly, shall we say, liberal with what they consider physical activity. So, you lift your phone, it counts as a step. You shake your phone, it counts as a step. Of course, we could not allow bumps and shakes, cradles, putting phones on the dog or putting the phone on top of the dishwasher to be counted as steps and be converted into Sweatcoins. So we build this proprietary algorithm that allows us to weed out and remove all of those suspected steps and only allow genuine physical activity to go through and convert it into Sweatcoins. Right now, you generate Sweatcoins. In the future, if you opted in for crypto, you will either receive Sweatcoins if you stayed in the Web2 world, or if you opted into crypto, you'll be receiving Sweat for your physical activity. So the verification and the validation is absolutely crux, kind of at the heart of it. We call it a, movement validator or movement oracle.
Got it. Makes sense. This is something that would be really interesting to see in like an iWatch at some point, or a Fitbit potentially, being able to track steps a little bit more accurately. But no, that's a really...
We already have our app on Apple Watch, and I really recommend you to use it. Absolutely, it works, and it works really, really well. Unfortunately, we cannot build our app for Fitbit, which is now part of Google, for one very simple reason, that the software is not secure enough. So, that transition between the device and the phone, is not secured and encrypted, and therefore anyone could impersonate a Fitbit and try to inject erroneous data into our system. We can't afford for this to happen, because we have to guarantee that every Sweatcoin or Sweat in the future that comes into existence is backed by the genuine, verified amount of physical activity.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah, I need to go out and get an iWatch now. I didn't know that you guys had that integration. That's fantastic.
Very much so.
What's your guys's ideal user or your target market? Is this for everyone? Like anyone should use it, or is this meant for people that are a bit more lazy or unhealthy, or an older generation, or do you have a specific demographic you want to get up and moving? Who are you guys aiming to pitch this to in terms of a user?
Yeah, awesome question. I'm really gives me an opportunity to cover some more ground that I should have covered earlier, to be honest. Our mission is to make the world more physically active. And as I mentioned to you, sort of the story, it's quite a personal story. We understood that, we wanted to be more active, but we thought that we didn't have time, money, motivation, kind of all these different excuses to, either go to gym or go for a run. And what we wanted to do is to create technology that helps you to change the relationship with the most basic of physical activities, walking or running, to make sure that you are subconsciously motivated to put one foot in front of another more times per day. That's going to make you burn more calories. That's going to make you healthier, fitter. It helps you to get out more, improve your mental health. And what we've realized very quickly after launch, and this has been proven by an academic research that we've done with the University of Warwick in the UK, that we do change behavior. Our users are 20% more active after installing our app than they were before. And this creates an immense amount of value for you, because you're more motivated, you're more active, you burn more calories, but also for your family that clearly cares for you being in a better shape. Your healthcare provider, your insurer, your employer, your country are all benefiting from this from this change. And kind of helping to drive this mission is creating this incredible amount of value that wasn't there before. And we're there kind of in the middle of it, powering it, and basically creating, with arrival of sweat, as you can see here on my t-shirt, what we're doing is we're putting this unit of the physical activity value that is going to enable all these amazing use cases that we can only talk about right now, where your insurer can offer you a discount on your health and life insurance if you're physically active, where you can pay part of your taxes to the state with sweat, because state knows that you're taking care of yourself, you're going to live longer, your tax revenue over time is going to be greater, so on and so forth. There is countless examples that we will be powering in not such a distant future.
No, I love it. That's fantastic. And I love the fact that this is some kind of application too that's encouraging people to be more active and take care of their health. There's a lot of cool blockchain and crypto use cases out there, but I haven't seen a lot geared towards health and activity and fitness and stuff. So this is really interesting. This is really cool. And you guys are the #1 most downloaded health and fitness app in the world. So congratulations on that. That's a big achievement, big milestone. What would you say is maybe the biggest driver towards that? Was it the sweat token as an incentivization model? Was it something else? What do you think has driven that success?
Great question. I mean, it's a combination of things. One is it's a very simple and very clear proposition. It pays to walk. And because of this, people really talk about us with their friends and family. And it's been absolutely incredible. Kind of 2/3 of all users that we have right now came absolutely organically through word of mouth, hearing about us from other users. So, it is because we're really focused on having this proposition and a really, really slick app that we've spent years polishing, making sure that steps are tracked, that they're converted, that you have a very, very fast feedback loop, that we build in viral loops into the application, motivating people to kind of spread the word and make the world more physically active. What is even more exciting, I think, in terms of our achievements, is not even the scale only, but the fact that we became profitable, which is extremely difficult in health and fitness space. If you look at health and fitness space, most of the apps that are at the top of the ranks are actually belonging to other businesses that have purchased them a few years ago because those businesses couldn't find business model. We found 3, and we are profitable, and we're continuing to scale. And with a move to Web3, we know that there are even more revenue streams and use cases that are opening up for us that will allow us to generate significant revenue to put back into the business and basically create, and make sure that our token is backed by a very, very significant market force.
I'm downloading it right now, actually, because I want to give this a test run today and
if
use
nothing
it.
else, there is one extra user, I'm happy.
Yeah, you got another user in Colombia. I'll share this with
Nice.
all my friends too. This is great. Did you guys change the branding and the logo?
Yes, we have, kind of what you see
Mhm.
on my t-shirt. This is basically Sweat Economy and Sweat, the token. And we
Okay.
have Sweatcoin, that is a Web2 original health and fitness app that has a
Okay.
slightly different logo. They will continue coexisting. You will need to have Sweatcoin as an app that will track your steps and will feed them into our verification kind of movement validator, movement verification model. And then you will be issued Sweat that will come to your, oh, I see that. That's, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Keep
Guys,
going.
this is what it looks like, guys. So go check it out.
It's
Let's
really slick experience,
let's
kind
earn
of
some
just
sweat
few
coins.
taps. You use either Google account or Apple
Mhm.
account, depending on the device that you have, and you just go plum, 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 and kind of it all works very, very quickly. So install Sweatcoin, opt into crypto, you create a near wallet, and then with the email that you'll receive, go and install Sweat Wallet, which is going to be the app, the wallet app that will help you manage your Sweat. It will allow you to stake it. It will allow you to on-ramp. It will allow you to off-ramp very soon. We'll be adding NFTs very, very soon. We'll also be having crypto trading. The roadmap is really, really tight, and there are a lot of exciting use cases that we're already working on.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. So when I go into the app, it says Sweatcoin, convert your steps into a currency to spend on products, offers, and supporting charitable causes. And I imagine there's other stuff you can do with it, but tell me what people can use Sweat for right now. What are some of the most popular things people are using it for? When would they be able to off ramp it to maybe an exchange? Or what are some things you want to do? And you mentioned NFTs.
Yeah. So right now, when you go into Sweatcoin, you will be earning Sweat coins that you will be spending in the Sweatcoin marketplace. There are hundreds of companies that we partnered with that accept, effectively Sweatcoin payment for their goods, services, and experiences, as well as sort of charitable donations. But if you want to play crypto, what I recommend is you hodl Sweatcoins, because on the 12th of September at 12 midday UTC, we'll take a snapshot of your balance and we'll issue you the matching or corresponding amount of Sweat into your near wallet. However, if you don't want to play crypto, that's absolutely fine. It's not for everybody. We're not forcing anyone to go into Web3. You can spend Sweatcoins on things like sports accessories. You will find kind of healthy foods and vitamins. You'll find dog accessories. There are countless examples of products and services that are health, fitness, sport, fashion, and generally sort of related to kind of your body shape that you can find every day, and they constantly rotate. So if you don't like something that you see today, when you wake up tomorrow and you check marketplace, the selection is going to be different.
What was the date you said for when the token is going to convert over?
So it's going to be 24 hours between 12 o'clock midday on the 12th of September, next Monday, and 12 midday on the 13th. At 12 on the 12th, we will take a snapshot of balances. On the 13th, you will find the corresponding balance in your Sweat wallet. The reason why we need 24 hours is because, unlike most projects, we're not talking about hundreds, thousands, or tens of thousands of token holders. We're talking about more than 10 million. So even distributing these tokens to these users is going to take hours and hours and hours on one of the fastest blockchains out there, Near.
So I have about a week to walk and run and sprint as much as possible to get my tokens before the snapshot happens.
Make them count.
Do you think that there's a value to one of the sweat tokens right now? Like, is there an equivalent maybe to give someone like an idea? And then also, how many steps on average do you think someone has to take to get one?
So right now it would be 1,000 verified steps to one sweat in the future. As soon as TGE will happen, the rate will start increasing. So, by the end of the first day, it will be somewhere between 1,010 and 1,020 steps, so on and so forth. And very, very soon, you're going to need to, kind of verify 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 steps in order to mint one sweat. This is very similar sort of token economics to Bitcoin, which halves every 4 years. In our world, this increasing minting difficulty happens in real time with each next sweat, which basically means that over time, there is more and more movement of physical activity packed in each unit of sweat.
Got it. Got it. Is there any monetary value attached to it? Is it like 10 cents, 20 cents? Just to give people like an idea.
We very strongly discourage sort of any transactions on this because it's centralized right now. There are a lot of people that sort of got scammed out there that, basically we really, really, really kind of beg you, don't do anything until TGE, because that's when it's going to become a lot more secure, because Sweat is going to be on blockchain. So I know that there were a lot of informal exchanges on Reddit, Discord, that were buying and selling Sweat coins, but I cannot really tell you prices, to be honest. It wasn't something that we were encouraging or trying to participate in.
Okay. Do you have any partnerships with the exchanges right now lined up that you can talk about, or is that all a surprise?
No. Well, I cannot name names for kind of obvious reasons, but we definitely have a lot of them lined up, and it is definitely going to be one of the sort of biggest launches of this year in terms of amount of support we managed to get from the ecosystem. And of course, scale at which we are operating, and the fact that we already have more than 10 million sort of non-custodial wallets created on Near is making us into a very interesting entrant into Web3 space. There were plenty of attempts in the past, but we think that we've learned their lessons and we know how to basically make it work for our users and for Web3 space. So there will be a number of centralized exchanges as well as DEXs that will be supporting us pretty much from kind of first seconds of after our TGE.
Got it. What about the US? I know you said you're not into the US quite yet. Is that something relatively soon coming up on your guys' timeline, or when do you plan to enter there?
Yes, frankly, we'll enter United States as soon as we can, and regulatory environment allows us to. So, this is sort of an ongoing watching brief. We have a lot of users there. We definitely want to serve them and work with them, but unfortunately, I cannot give a specific time at this moment.
What's the regulation that holds you guys back from being able to do it in the US? I imagine that they wouldn't want to regulate something that encourages people to be healthy.
No, absolutely. And, Sweatcoin is doing extremely well in the US. We have tens of millions of users, but, the regulatory framework is such right now that, it's very, very difficult to get certainty from anyone how would we as a project be perceived, what what our users are going to be exposed to. And because of this sort of uncertainty and lack of clarity, we can't just serve our US users directly at this stage.
Sure, understandable. One more question. You mentioned NFTs. What are some of your plans in terms of integrating NFTs into this platform? Is that part of like the reward structure? Is that going to be incorporated in some different way? What's your guys' thoughts on that?
Brilliant question. It's really exciting what the team is working on. To give you a sneak preview, we're talking dynamic NFTs that are evolving as a representation of you in digital space and are driven by a number of things that you do in physical world as well as digital world. And because of course we cannot do the usual sort of NFT approach of 10,000 collection, because to be honest, it's a drop in the ocean for us when we have more than 10 million users. So it is going to be an engagement tool. It's going to be a tool that's going to make you more physically active. And it is going to be something that you will be evolving and developing over time. I think of sort of Tamagotchi, I guess, on steroids, with amazing graphics and animation and evolution over time.
Awesome. Now I'm looking forward to it. This is really cool. Before we start wrapping things up, where should people go to learn more about Sweat Economy, about the Sweatcoin application, about the token? Should they just go to a website? Is there a community? Where do you want people to go?
So anywhere where kind of is most friendly to you, sweateconomy.com. You can find links to our Discord server. I think that this is probably the best place that have all the latest announcements in real time. This is where we're dropping kind of all the bits of information first. And Twitter, Sweat Economy.
Perfect. Do you guys have like a Telegram or something like that, or just
we stopped supporting Telegram channel. Okay. I mean, we had it. Too many scammers, to be honest. Telegram is great environment. However, as soon as you get reasonable number of people into a channel, immediately people are starting to post scamming links and try to kind of extract value. We just don't want our users to be exposed to it, because a lot of them are not very experienced. They might not recognize scams from a mile away as you or me would. And we just don't want to give scammers a chance and give them airtime in front of our users.
Yeah, the scammers are out of hand these days. It's crazy. They're just raiding and just polluting Discord servers and Telegram channels, and it's ruining a lot of good stuff. God, that's got to be the next thing someone solves.
It's my absolute bugbear. I really do think that Telegram can do a lot more to make sure that people can't impersonate other people. I'm sure that there are lots and lots of things that can bring a lot more order and allow us to, basically run our group there like we do Discord channel, where we have a lot of control, an opportunity to, kind of control what people post, and at least make sure that there is no scamming going on kind of in nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you? Can people find you online? Are you on social media?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not anonymous. You can find Oleg Fomenko on Twitter, LinkedIn, Telegram, kind of everywhere. I'm not hiding. You can find me pretty much everywhere, or just type in Sweat Economy into Twitter, and I'm sure that you'll find me sort of participating in some of the conversations, answering questions. I'm there very much in the forefront of kind of what's going on.
Perfect. Guys, go follow Oleg. Go follow the Sweat Economy. Make sure to like and subscribe to the video below, to the show if you haven't already. Just to kind of conclude, you know, this is the kind of stuff I talk about. We need more in the space. Having this crypto blockchain Web3 element, but integrated into an application, you know, something that's mobile on the phone. You know, people aren't using their laptops all the time, everywhere they go. Most people in the world don't even have one. They have a smartphone. So it's almost criminal in this space to be working on the future of the internet and the future tech of the world and not have enough integrations on the smartphone. It drives me crazy every single day. And I'm kind of left just with MetaMask because that's not like the only viable thing on the phone. And then there's Sweatcoin, you know, so there's not enough stuff out there, but I really appreciate your guys's innovation and making that happen. I think it's a really great use case, combining it with fitness and health and getting people more active. I think you guys are going to continue to see a lot of success with us. So Oleg, thank you for sharing the opportunity. Thank you for highlighting it and
thank you, Brandon,
so much.
Yeah. Now, you know, from my side, I can say that it is really, really exciting time for Web3. I think that we are on the cusp of really going mass market. And what we need to do is to get more innovation that goes beyond money and complicated financial products that most people around the world don't understand and don't need. And you know, we can definitely on-ramp tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people and turn Web3 and blockchain into something that, you know, everyone is engaged with and everyone is familiar with. And we can help a billion people to not just become more active, but to also become financially and Web3 more literate while we're doing it. I think it's a fantastic goal.
Absolutely. I think you guys can too. So keep it going, man. Anyways, let's talk again soon. Great episode. Maybe we'll do a follow-up in the near future. In the meantime, take care and we'll talk soon.
Just being me, Brandon. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.